No worries. That probably needs to happen before the diamond formation. Let's see here. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it after the presentation of the certificates for the children. Yep.
There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you catch your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like hope is gone,
Y'all ready to roll?
look inside
No, neither am I. They done made so many changes. Come on now, it's over.
and you find the secret truth that a hero lies in you. And you face the world alone when riches out of hand.
Thank you, Tech Sergeant Watts. Thank you.
If the search within you say emptiness you bear will disappear, and then hero comes along with strength to carry on, and you can aside, and you know you can survive. When feel like hope is gone, look inside your soul, and always see the truth that a hero lies in you. But don't let anyone tear them away. Just hold be tomorrow anytime.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Senior Master Sergeant Henry McRoberts, and I will be your narrator for today's ceremony. It is my privilege to welcome you to the retirement ceremony honoring Chief Master Sergeant Eric Simon's 30 years of distinguished service to the United States Air Force. As a reminder, indoor protocol will be observed for the duration of the ceremony. At this time, please ensure all electronic devices are silenced or turned off. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the Misawa Air Base Honor Guard, followed by the Japanese National Anthem by Miss Akiko Walker and the U.S. National Anthem by Tech Sergeant Paige Watts and the invocation by Chaplain Kim.
If you are what you say you are, a superstar, then have no fear. The camera's here and the microphones, and they wanna know.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad strokes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets pregnant, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner get waved for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Arm! Coat! Park!
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me for prayer. God, it is with
Grateful hearts that we pause this Eric Simon. We thank God for the countless contributions he has made as an airman, NCO, SCL, Diamond, and Chief. We are thankful for his exceptional loyalty to our Air Force family, and for his willingness to build trust, care, resilience, to share his knowledge, wisdom,
just keep
it real
to all he came in
contact with.
But we also
But
realize
we also realize that these accomplishments
will be impossible without the help,
without the help,
loving support of family and friends, and you know who you are. Therefore, we give thanks for Papa Robert Joseph Simon, the man that made Chief Simon a good dude. Amanda Simon, loving wife and foundation of Team Simon's success. Their daughters, Lex and Bella, sons Gabe and Justin, the loves of their life will make it all worth it. I pray for continued blessings over Team Simon to the next phase of their lives. May God's presence be with them as they choose new paths to walk and new horizons to explore. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Sauer, Air Base Honor Guard, Mr. Keegle Walker, Tech Sergeant Watts, and Chaplain Kim. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Today, we celebrate a time-honored tradition, a military retirement ceremony to recognize Chief Master Sergeant Eric A. Simon for his 30 years of military service in the United States Air Force. This retirement ceremony is one of the oldest and most traditional ceremonies in the United States military, honoring members as they retire from a long and honorable career of faithful service. This formal ceremony will leave Chief Master Sergeant Simon and his family a tangible expression of appreciation of their contributions throughout the years, and reinforce the bond demonstrated in his uninterrupted membership as a part of the United States Air Force family, even in retirement. Let's take a moment to acknowledge special guests attending today's retirement ceremony. The presiding official, Commander, 366 Maintenance Squadron, Major Kerry Doomlau. Chief Master's immediate family, his wife, Mrs. Amanda Simon, their children, Gabe, Justin, unable to attend, Alexa, and Isabella. Eric would like to thank Michelle and Alana Birchfield, who are considered extended family to the Simons. Thank you for being here today. We would also like to welcome the Deputy Commander, 35th Fighter Wing, Colonel Matt Kinkley. Representing the Command Chief, 35th Fighter Wing, Chief Master Sergeant Josh Horton. We would also like to welcome all group and squadron commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, supervisors, co-workers, and the men and women of the 35th Fighter Wing. Major Doomlau, would you please come forward for your remarks?
All right. Good afternoon. Have another round of applause for that beautiful rendition of the national anthem and the Japanese national anthem. I would like to thank all leadership, chiefs, friends, and most importantly, family for being here today to support Eric on this tremendous occasion. Today's more about each of you than it really about him, because without most of you, he would not be here today. As we come together, we find ourselves at this unique crossroad of celebration, reflection, and for many others, envy. We're here to honor a man who's devoted a significant chapter of his life to the service of our nation. 30 years to be exact. Chief, when you were enlisting, did you see yourself staying for 30 years? Okay. So I had a really difficult time preparing for this speech. Almost a year ago, when Chief asked me to officiate for his retirement, I was incredibly humbled, but then I was really panicked. I talk really good, but I don't speech very good. So now that everybody knows Chief, he has a way with words. He's phenomenal at mentorship. And without even knowing it, he mentors you. So it didn't really dawn on me until the plane ride over here when I was writing my speech. that this is one final opportunity for him to mentor me, to work on my speeches. He's always teaching, he's always mentoring, and he's growing this next generation behind him. His mentorship not only impacts his subordinates, but also his superiors. The number of officers and enlisted who've been impacted by you is evident in the size of this audience today. Chief stands or sits before us, ready for what I'm sure will be an adventurous and well-deserved retirement. All right, now that's the formal part. I'm going to do something a little unconventional because these speeches, they can get pretty bland. Going through 30 years of EPRs is awesome, and I could go through every single one of them and tell you all the cool things that he did, because we don't lie in EPRs at all, so everything written is true. Or I could do the cans. Back in '94, I was doing, what were you doing? But that gets a little, it's a slap in the face a little bit, like, hey, I was still a kid and you were enlisting and doing all the cool guy stuff. But I'm going to do this more of a talk show. So we're going to hear from him about his career and the things he did and how he felt, because that doesn't really come through in EPRs. So. All right. So, with that, welcome to the Major Doomlau Show, where today I'm going to interview Chief Master Sergeant Eric Simon on his final Air Force ceremony. So sit back. Here goes the great questions that we have. All right. Welcome to my show. How are you today? All right. Technical difficulties. It's all right. We'll share the microphone. It'll be great. All right. So, as an enlisted member, you raise your right hand swearing to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. But what 18 or 19-year-old really knows what they're raising their hand for, and that they're part of something bigger, and they'll potentially die for the protection of this country. So Eric Simon, you left home in '94. You enlisted in the Air Force, and you committed your life to a higher calling. Everyone has their reasons for coming into the Air Force. What was yours?
Great question. Put me on the spot. Yeah, I like that. I like your style. I just wanted to be something that my dad would be proud of. I asked him one day, where'd you get the name Eric from? Why'd you name me Eric? He said, well, just look at America. Take the word America. What do you see? It's your name. That's why.
All right, true American. Is it working now? Was it me? All right, as an airman, you spent your formative years at Luke, Osan, and Spangdahlem. What was your first day like at Luke Air Force Base? How did you feel?
Well, I'm going to be honest. First day, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was scared. I met my first supervisor, retired Tech Sergeant Dana Schrank, and he took me to the NCO club where airmen are not supposed to go. And let's just say we had a few too many drinks, and he indoctrinated me into the Air Force, and yeah, it was something I wasn't expecting at all. I mean, you come out of tech school and you're like, okay, I need to come in here and figure this out, and that wasn't it at all at first. It was, we're going to figure out who you are, we're going to figure out your story, and we're going to figure out a way to make you a warfighter that's going to be worth something.
How many supervisors in here have taken their airmen out? Is that an illegal question? Unethical? No. Yeah. Sorry. I don't want to put anybody on the spot. If you raised your hand, I didn't see it. Sorry.
We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. Look, I have no bearing here at Misawa anymore, so, feel free. All right. What is something that you wish you knew that you know now? So as an airman, what do you wish you knew?
I think the biggest thing is not to stress, not to worry about it, that everything is going to work out in the end. Um, don't worry about promoting. Don't worry about succeeding. Don't worry about your failures, your successes. Just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the relationships, and just be grateful for everything that you have. I think that'd be the biggest thing.
Who brought that baby? You joined before 9/11. What were some significant differences you saw before 9/11 and post 9/11?
Oh man, I think the biggest thing is we banded together as a team, as one, after 9/11. There was no, take off panels because I'm not a crew chief or I'm not this or that. It was, what can I do? What can I do to help? It was all of us together, and we got shit done. Sorry, my language. Yeah. All right.
My mom's okay with it. All right. Everyone has their crazy airman stories, or lieutenant, I'm sure. But what was the worst thing you did as an airman that you can share in front of your family?
Oh, man. Well, I think the worst thing really was that I had to go see the wing commander in my blues. He was a 1-star at Spang Island. And I got issued an LOR from him. And back in those days, everybody goes with you. They call it the elephant walk. And it was really humbling. I deserved everything that I was given. Made a stupid mistake, stupid decision. But it was a blessing because I learned from it, became better from it, and I understood what it was like to be on that carpet. So when down the road when I was a supervisor, I knew what that person was going through, and I was able to support that person going through it just from my own stories and my own things that happened to me. So it was actually a blessing for me.
And that helped you as a first sergeant too, right?
Definitely helped me as a first sergeant for sure, because I understood what people were going through. I understood what it feels like. People look at you like you're a piece of crap. I remember that, and I know how that feels.
All right, moving on to your NCO years. As an NCO, you are charged with many things, to include ensuring that personnel and resources under your control are effectively used, remaining alert to detecting adverse morale trends, and initiating corrective action within your control, providing appropriate feedback to superiors, maintaining the highest level of communication and rapport with subordinates, remaining attuned to their needs, being ever mindful that the key is empathy, not apathy, leading the way and at all times with presenting an image of competence, integrity, and pride. And there's more, but I'm paraphrasing a little bit. So which of these, if any, do you wish you had spent more time demonstrating?
Blowing kisses to your daughter. I'm sorry.
Top one.
Yeah. I would say, I guess, part of that would be service before self. I think we look at that a little bit different. Everyone has to do. But for me, it's not about sacrificing your family for our service. It's about there's times in your career that you're going to have to go somewhere. You're going to have to leave your family. You're going to have to go do things. And those are the times you sacrifice your family. But when you're in garrison, that's not the time to sacrifice your family. That's the time you are a family. And I think I could have done a better job with that. I didn't see my son really grow up. With my other son as well. And Alexa and Bella is pretty hit and miss. But I'm going to capitalize after retirement in the next 3 years in high school. I'm going to be there for everything.
You spent time at Spain, Eglin, and Vandenberg as an NCO. I lean pretty heavily on my NCOs. I expect a lot out of them because they're the ones who work the most with my airmen and bringing up that next generation. So what are some really defining moments that motivated you and gave you that sense of, this is what I should be doing?
I was deployed to PSAB out of Spangalum, and I was a fresh staff sergeant, and we had a mission go out, came back empty, and he was on a 12-hour mission, and he was purple, lips were purple, and he said, hey, my heat didn't work at all, and that's all he said. And then he came back a couple days after that. We got it fixed, and he didn't ask any questions, went right into the aircraft and did his thing again. And during that time, just being part of that and making that mission happen, then right then and there, I'm at where I belong, and I'm really grateful that I'm here.
So in light of the recent tech sergeant announcements, how were you told that you made tech sergeant?
Yeah, that was back in 2006, I think 2006, somewhere around there. That's how my brain works. So I want to say I was in QA, and I had just came back from the flight line, and the chief and the commander, everyone was there, and they kind of surprised me. I happened to be the only one to make it that year in QA, so it was really special because that was a tough stripe to make. It took me 3 times to make it, so it was tough. So it was very memorable though. It was good.
All right, moving forward in time. The senior NCO tier is charged with doing more, as they should, due to the greater burden of leadership. Some of the things they're charged with include continuing to perform equally as a lead manager, accepting responsibilities and promptly executing duties and lawful orders, continuing to broaden the management skills essential to exercising the responsibilities of higher leadership positions in which a master sergeant serves. You are charged with being a total professional at all times. The burden of being a senior NCO is greater because there's higher expectations. You also tend to be the primary mentor for not only your junior enlisted, but your junior officers. Tell me about the first officer you ever mentored, and is there anything you learned from that situation?
The first one, as a master sergeant, was a young lieutenant, Air Force Academy grad, and didn't have any mechanical knowledge or skills at all, but he took feedback very well, so it was fun working with him and seeing him grow, and within a year or two he was doing really well. It wasn't just from my feedback but from everyone else, but it was fun spending that time with him because you could tell he wanted it, but he just didn't know what he was doing, so it was cool to actually be the person to teach someone else, so it was fun.
You're telling me. Microphone, there we go. You're telling me an academy grad took feedback?
Yeah, feedback.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
I thought we were going to be truthful. So,
I might have got lucky on that one, I guess.
by the way, I'm an academy grad. It's okay. So what was the biggest challenge in your time as a senior NCO?
I think far and away is first sergeant duty. And the reason for that is because I learned a lot more about myself than anything else. It challenged me. I lost all my hair. I was a mess. It was something that I would definitely do again. Put me in uncomfortable situations I learned from, and just figuring stuff out. And then, oh, by the way, taking care of families, taking care of service members. And I didn't have to worry about anything else but serve them. And I enjoy being in the background. I don't like to be in the front like this. I like to be in the background and just supporting people. And that really that was my favorite time really in the Air Force as a first sergeant.
You attended the Marine Corps Senior NCO Academy, and not only did you graduate, but you graduated as number 2 in your class. That's an accomplishment to be proud of because the Marines take PME very seriously, and it's a big deal if an Air Force member beats them out in their rankings. So how did your perspective before the Senior NCO change from after?
First of all, that award, that wasn't that big of a deal. God bless the Marines, but we all know. I mean, come on. I know Drew knows. Where's Drew? Yeah, he knows. But yeah, it was fun. Got to learn a lot. The biggest thing really is I know that if I'm ever embedded with the Marines, I know I'll get their respect, and we'll be able to work together for sure. And it was fun. The physical part of it was a lot of fun. The academic stuff was pretty simple, but the physical stuff, the wrestling and all that, the hand-to-hand stuff was fun. A lot to learn, and it made me a better CNCO and a better.
All right. How were you told that you made chief, and what did that feel like?
Oh, I was on staff at Langley. When I arrived there, I told them, I was like, look, I'm gonna retire. I'm not looking to continue going. I've had a great career. I'm good. And they were like, yeah, whatever. And ended up making chief on staff at Langley, and I think he's a 3-star now, General Miller. I think he's up at the Pentagon now, I believe. Tom Miller. He came in, and if you guys know him, he's a great guy. Great to work for. And he's about 6'8", 6'5", whatever. And he came in, and I was like, oh, man, somebody messed up. And they said, hey, come on up here. And he started talking to me, and he told me that forever now people are going to call you chief. I'm like, what? So it was a complete surprise. But what a wonderful leader. I couldn't ask for a better leader in a better situation. And the only thing that would have been better if my family was there, but it was definitely a memorable event.
You've been or 4?
I don't know. Mac knows my motivation and discipline. I'm not going to go down that road. But I guess for motivation, I would say it goes back to my dad. The things that he taught me and the things I knew that was important to him, it's never to look at yourself, it's to look to your left and your right, help someone else out, be a good person. And yeah, that's what motivated me. I just wanted to make him proud at the end of the day.
Fitness is a huge part of your life. This is that question we talked about. So we like to run.
It's a love-hate relationship.
How many miles have you run since being stationed here at Misawa?
So my daughters actually looked at it. They asked me, how many miles you run a day? Okay, a week? Okay, all right. What'd you guys come up with? 17,000? So right around 17,000.
Okay. A little higher than I expected. How are your knees? I think that answers it. Okay.
They're pretty good. But if VA's listening, they're bad. They're terrible.
All right. We like to know what kind of challenges chiefs go through. So to most of us, chiefs are infallible. They can do no wrong. Everything they do, they walk on water, all those things. What is something that is incredibly challenging for you that has had or has an impact on doing your duty? And did it affect your core values?
Wow, that's a deep question. I think I think the toughest part is just setting the example, living in that fishbowl, being consistent, disciplined. People are always looking at you. And in the back of my mind, I've always been told, be the example that you want to see in your people and the people around you. And it's not easy to do. And you can see it. I mean, you see it. Like, you get out of basic training, we're gun-ho, we're ready to go, and then as the years go, we just kind of get comfortable. And I told my daughter, Alexa, I was like, when you graduate BMT, have that same mindset, the same discipline. You go out there, you have your uniform on right, your military image, you have your PT, your mental, physical health, everything above, and excellence in all we do. Have high standards for yourself. And you'll see everyone around you start picking up their own game. And I think that's the biggest thing for me.
All right. How did you meet Amanda?
Oh, man.
Are we not supposed to ask that question?
I think it's good. It's G14 classified, but I trust you guys. I was one of the red flags. I think it was, I don't know what it was. It was a long time ago. And I was coming down the elevator, and she was down at the bottom, and made eye contact. I was like, ooh. And it's like, hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, is what they say. And so.
I'm sorry, Bella.
So I had enough courage to come up to her and say hello, introduce myself, and that was pretty much it. Man, it was a wrap from there. It was basically, I knew she was the one when I saw her. I think I scored some points on that one.
Was he wearing like gold chains and like his cap? And yeah, I just imagine like the old gangster. Yeah, and the lean and the okay. So while I was here with you, one thing that I found incredibly powerful was your decision to do a year of, don't you pick that up? Okay. A year of sobriety. As he's picking up a beer. So our culture is maintenance. We have a lot of ties to alcohol. And so the two big questions I have is, why did you do that, a year of sobriety? And then how did that change the perception of your people on you?
Well, it's funny. I've been doing it for a long time. I do it every 5 years. It's just a discipline thing to me, but when people find out about it, they're like, oh, what's wrong with you? You don't drink? I'm like, alcohol is so accepted. They think I have a problem because I quit every 5 years. It's just something that I do for myself to keep myself in check. And alcohol is not that big of a deal for me. But in the military, it's part of us. And if I can have those conversations with some folks and they do the same thing, that's the only reason I would tell people is maybe they would be like, you know what, that's a good idea. If I can abstain from alcohol for a year, why would I need alcohol in my life? So, but yeah, that's what I did.
What celebrity do you want to play you in your life movie?
Oh, well, we talked about this. McConaughey. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. McConaughey. I mean, he's athletic. He's good looking. Yeah, he has a great way with words. He's got a great accent. Everybody loves him. Yeah.
There's no resemblance.
It's my movie, man. You asked me a question. That's who I wanted to play me.
Okay.
Matthew McConaughey. All right.
Yeah, not what I expected. All right. And then
I know what you're expecting. Probably Joe Pesci or Al Pacino, Robert De Niro.
I mean, was anybody else surprised by Matthew McConaughey?
Maybe Sylvester Stallone or Rocky, whatever.
Yeah, I was looking at Sylvester Stallone, the young version, not who he is now.
Yeah.
He's a little old looking. All right, and then the last question for you. You better answer this right. Who is the best DO that you ever had the pleasure of working with?
Really?
Why are you taking so long?
Oh, we've had some winners. I'm telling you, we had some good ones. I guess you know. It'll be you.
Well, thank you. I expected a quicker answer, but you answered right. All right, and so that kind of wraps up this interview. But 7-time national championship college football coach Nick Saban, for everyone who listens to sports, he once said, "You can measure the quality of a leader and the impact he has on a team by how much the team will miss him when he's gone." And based on this crowd and my interactions with you, the MXS and the Air Force team is going to greatly miss Chief Master Sergeant Eric Simon, and then Amanda, Gabe, Alexa, and Bella. Thank you for allowing him to serve. I know he missed holidays. Stop laughing, baby. Missed holidays. He missed birthdays. He missed significant life events. And while we can't give you that back, we can give him to you now. He's leaving behind a squadron that's more capable, more lethal, for having had him in their ranks. And that's something that a wife and child can be proud of. All right. So that's all the time we have for today. But allow me to leave you with this. As you step into retirement in a few minutes, know that you do so with the utmost respect and admiration from all of us in this room. You've been more than a leader. You've been a mentor. You've been a friend. And although we're going to miss your presence, the positive influence you gave me and then those all around us, we will all continue to carry throughout the rest of our career and our lives. You ready for retirement?
I'm ready.
Thank you, Major Dumlau. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal. Attention to orders. To all who shall see this present's greetings, this is to certify that the President of the United States of America, authorized by Executive Order 16 January 1969, has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 7th Oakley Cluster, to Chief Master Sergeant Eric A. Simon for meritorious service, 14 September 2020 to 31 December 2024. Chief Master Sergeant Eric Simon distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Senior Enlisted Leader, 35th Maintenance Squadron, 35th Maintenance Group, 35th Fighter Wing, Misawa Air Base, Japan. During this period, Chief Simon led the command's largest active duty squadron, guided 622 airmen who provided maintenance support for 44 F-16s valued at $1.4 billion. His expertise was crucial to the closeout of 3 flying hour programs, amassing over 20,000 flight hours, resulting in the command's 2021 Maintenance Effectiveness Award. Additionally, he oversaw the command's only central repair facility that produced 160 engines, supporting 3 fighter wings. He mobilized a team that certified Kadena Air Base's Hush House operations, increasing the theater's capabilities by 50% and earning the command citation of honor. Lastly, Chief Simon was pivotal in the restoring the F-16 Canopy Steel Longeron, a primary cause of aircraft grounding within the fleet. His initiatives were instrumental in shaping the repair infrastructure, establishing the framework for the enterprise, and increasing the wing's aircraft availability by 45%. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Chief Master Sergeant Simon culminate a long and distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Please remain standing for the publishment of the retirement order. Special Order AC 012074. Chief Master Sergeant Eric A. Simon, you are relieved from active duty from the 35th Maintenance Squadron, Misawa Air Base, Japan, effective 31 December 2024, after 30 years and 17 days of active service, per Air Force Instruction 363212, in the grade of Chief Master Sergeant. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Every retiree receives a special retirement pin as a memento of their active duty service. At this time, we invite Chief Simon's wife, Amanda, to come forward and present Chief Master Sergeant Simon with his retirement pin to symbolize the transition from active duty to retired status. Chief Master Sergeant Simon has received certificates of individual accomplishment from the Chief of Staff of the Air Force, the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force, and the 35th Fighter Wing Commander. Those certificates will be displayed on the back of the venue. We would now like to recognize the contributions of Mrs. Simon to her husband's career. The certificate reads, "This presentation is a certificate from the United States Air Force grateful appreciation. The United States Air Force presents a certificate of recognition to Mrs. Amanda Simon for the committed and numerous contributions that made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for the support which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service." Signed, General David W. Alvin, Air Force Chief of Staff, and Colonel Michael P. Richard, Commander, 35th Fighter Wing. Mrs. Simon also received a certificate of appreciation from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. The certificate reads, "This presentation is a certificate from the Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force on behalf of all Air Force airmen and their families. The Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force presents a certificate of appreciation to Mrs. Amanda Simon. I join your spouse, family, and friends in thanking you for the numerous contributions and sacrifices you made in support of our United States Air Force. Your dedication gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service in defense of our nation." Signed, David L. Flossie, Chief Master Sergeant of the Air Force. We would also like to acknowledge Chief Master Sergeant's children, Gabe, Justin, Alexa, and Isabella, for their contribution to their father's career. The certificate reads, "This presentation is a certificate from the United States Air Force in grateful appreciation. The United States Air Force presents a certificate of recognition to Gabe, Justin, Alexa, and Isabella for their commitment and numerous contributions they made positive impacts to the nation's defense. Thank you for your support, which gave strength and purpose to your father's service." Signed, Colonel Michael P. Richard, Commander, 35th Fighter Wing. Gabe, Justin, and Alexa, and Isabella also received the military child certificate and medal from their father, Chief Master Sergeant Simon. The certificate reads, throughout the years of your life, you have made sacrifices, and you served your country as much as I've done. In your loving way, you quietly shouldered the heavy burden that you were asked to carry. Most of the time, you did not understand why I was not there, but you quietly hid the tears, courageously put on a smile, and defiantly promised that you would support me. You were then, as now, one of the most important parts of my life, and it is your love that enabled you to assure me that I was doing what was important. I missed so many holidays and countless special occasions, while you were left at home to worry while I was out on difficult missions. You had to say goodbye to friends when we moved throughout the years, and you had to change schools. Your resilience and self-confidence throughout those frequent moves gave me strength. I'm proud of you, for it was your love and support that sustained me in all those difficult times. There's no way in my mind that I could have been a success in the military without having your support, your understanding, and most importantly, your unquestionable love. Thank you for being there for me. At this time, we'll have the Masawa Base Chief Group to come forward for a presentation. First Sergeants, prepare to form the diamond. The 17th century Prussian army van was most likely one of the most first to be introduced as the first sergeant. Standing at the top of the non-commissioned hierarchy of rank, he was the overseer of all the company's enlisted personnel. During the American Revolution, Inspector General Frederick Van Steuben set forth the duties of the first sergeant to be intimately familiar with the character of every soldier of the company and impress upon their minds the indispensable necessity of the strictest obedience. Throughout American history, military leaders have viewed the first sergeant as the key to the development of a good company, the order and discipline of the troops. Their care and well-being have always been the focal points of the first sergeant's job. The first sergeant is easily distinguishable from the other enlisted ranks by the diamond in the center of the chevron. All enlisted members of the force symbolically reside in the center of the chevron, and the 4 points can mean different things to different first sergeants. The first point symbolizes reaching out to a community and building trust, as first sergeants so often do. The second point symbolizes subordinates, for while they truly serve those above them, we as first sergeants also serve them. The third point signifies peers, for they assist us in so many ways. The fourth and highest point on the diamond signifies God, as we, like so many, ask for his counsel in times of hardship and despair that we see in those we serve. The distinguishing mark had its beginning in the 1830s, where the first sergeant wore a red sash around his waist. In 1847, Army regulations authorized the wear of chevrons on the fatigues of non-commissioned officers. It also authorized the lozenge, or the French diamond, to designate the first sergeant. Indications are that this was the first appearance of the diamond as an insignia device. The chevrons have changed over the years from the beginnings in the Army Air Corps to look of today's Air Force. But the one constant has been distinguishable diamond denoting the position of the first sergeant. Today, you will recognize the first sergeant that's going on. Strong hands to lead and guide. A tough body that can endure all types of stress and keep smiling. Worry wrinkles in the brow from care and concern for their people. A longing behind the smile from loneliness because people only see them as the shirt, the one to stay away from, the one to be feared. Chief Simon, you are one of us and you will be missed. Thank you for all you have done for the Misawa Air Base First Sergeant Council. Always remember, once a diamond, always a diamond. First Sergeants, dismissed. At this time, Airman of the 35th Fighter Wing Honor Guard and his daughter, Senior Airman Simon, will perform a flag folding ceremony in honor of Chief Master Sergeant service and retirement. For more than 200 years, the American flag is a symbol of our nation's unity, as well as a source of pride and inspiration for millions of citizens. Born on June 14, 1777, the Second Continental Congress determined that the flag of the United States be 13 stripes, alternating between 7 red and 6 white, and that the Union be 13 stars, white in the blue field representing a new constellation. Between 1777 and 1960, the shape of and design of the flag evolved into the flag presented before you today. The 13 horizontal stripes represent the original 13 colonies, while the stars represent the 50 states of the Union. The colors of the flag are symbolic as well. Red symbolizes hardness and valor. White signifies purity and innocence. And blue represents vigilance, perseverance, and justice. Traditionally, a symbol of liberty, the American flag has carried the message of freedom and inspired Americans both home and abroad. In 1814, Francis Scott Key was so moved at seeing the stars and stripes waving after the British shelling of Baltimore's Fort McHenry that he wrote the words to the Star-Spangled Banner. In 1892, the flag inspired Francis Bellamy to write the Pledge of Allegiance, our most famous flag salute and patriotic oath. In July 1969, the American flag was flown in space when Neil Armstrong planted it on the surface of the moon. Today, our flag flies in constellations of Air Force satellites encircle our globe, and on the thin flash of our aircraft in harm's way in every corner of the world. Indeed, it flies in the heart of every airman who serves our great nation. The sun never sets on our United States Air Force, nor the flag we so proudly cherish. Since 1776, no generation of Americans has spared the responsibility of defending freedom. Today's airmen remain committed to preserving the freedom that others won for us for generations to come. By displaying the flag, In giving a distinctive fold, we show respect to the flag and express our gratitude to those individuals who fought and continue to fight for freedom at home and abroad. Since the dawn of the 20th century, airmen have proudly flown the flag in every major conflict in lands and skies around the world. It is their responsibility, our responsibility, to continue to protect and preserve the rights, privileges, and freedoms that we as Americans enjoy today. The United States flag represents who we are. It stands for the freedom we all share and the pride and patriotism we feel for our country. We cherish its legacy as a beacon of hope to one and all. Long may it wave. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that I present to you Chief Sergeant Eric A. Simon, United States Air Force, retired. Let's go, baby!
First things first, all right. I thought I was coming to somebody else's ceremony. I didn't realize it was mine until someone said it was. This is, man, an experience I wasn't prepared for, and I know in my mind and my heart, I can do another 30 years. But my time is up. So before I get into everything, I gotta give thanks. And I gotta give thanks to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Without Him, I'm nothing. So thank you. I want to say thank you to Chaplain. Oh yeah, Chaplain. Thank you, Chaplain. I'll never forget what you did for me in the middle of staff. And I did a moment of silence for my dad when he died last year. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you. My man Anthony, brother, we started playing this thing back in October, and this was a fantastic sound. Give him a round of applause. Tracy, thank you for taking care of him while he's going through all this. Appreciate you, Tracy. You definitely his ride or die, so thank you very much. Sawa's First Sergeant Council, Sawa Honor Guard, my daughter Alexa. And I was about to break down when she handed me that flag. That was, I'll never forget that moment that me and you shared. Thank you very much. The national anthem singers, I know you guys already been shouted out, but you guys did great. Kiko and Paige, phenomenal. Thank you. My man Robert, when I first met you, man, I knew you were going to be a chief. It's just a matter of time. And it wasn't because of you, it was because of your wife. Yeah, your wife is right. She's good. So thank you for doing this. Thank you for being part of this ceremony. You did a great job, MC, and I appreciate everything. Thank you. To the prop, ANC Porter, honoring the flag. Thank you so much. I know this was a little nerve-wracking for you, but you got through it. We all got through it. Thank you. Our man, video and sound engineer. That sounded great. Justin. Hey, besides the microphones, man, you did a good job, man. Thank you. All right, wing leadership. Squat, Joho, thanks for coming. Appreciate you. I know when I first got here, can you guys hear me? Okay. All right.
There go the chief.
I take that back, Justin. You suck. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I love you. All right. When I first got here about 4 years ago, we didn't know what ACE was. We didn't know how we were going to defeat the enemy or how even we were going to operate. Fast forward 4 years, Colonel Richard, SWAT, Colonel General Friedel before them. We're in a lot better place now. We know what we're doing, and if the enemy ever decides to get a hair up its butt, we're going to kick their ass, and I know we will. So, welcome. Thank you for being here. All right. The Doomlau family. Danny, Tony, Genevieve, Adriana, Major Doomlau, thank you so much for traveling all the way from Idaho, mountain home, all the way here with a 8-month baby? 8-month baby. That's not easy. Thank you so much. Danny, if you ever need that crazy uncle in the corner, I got you. When them boys come into the house, I got you. I'll scare them away for you. Tony, thank you for your service. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it very much. Thank you so much. Major, I'm gonna try to get through this without crying and do my best. If you start seeing me cry, man, I just get a little bit of support from you guys. It'll get me through it. Like I said before, Major, there was no I just want you to know, if you ever need something, Amanda and I will be there for you. We are connected forever. Every time we look at these Okay. All right, I think I thanked everybody. If I missed you, sorry. Thank you. There you go. All right, so I won't be long. I've already done a lot of talking already. I didn't know I was going to get interviewed, but I did know. But I didn't know how it was going to go. But it was good. It made me at ease. But I just want to kind of lightly touch on my dad, and because he deserves it. I didn't meet my dad until I was 8 years old. I was in Germany. My mom was raising me, and my dad was like, "Hey, I want to meet my son." And I was like, "Okay." So my mom's like, "Hey, you going to the United States?" Didn't speak a lick of English. Never been out of Germany before. And I was getting on a plane by myself. I had a picture of him in his old Army fatigues, and basically, hey, good luck. He'll be there. I'm like, okay. So I'll make it over there, and sure enough, he's there. And in his great German, trying to be German language accent, he's like, Eric, your papa. I was like, oh, okay. So next couple weeks, he told me, you're not going back to your mom. And he took me to his parents, and his sisters were all there. Everybody was there. The whole family was there. And he had me take my shirt off. It was weird. I was like, why I got to take my shirt off? And he had me go like this, like go in a circle. So I went in a circle, and I looked around, and everybody's crying. Well, what the hell is everybody crying about? I didn't know what was going on. But what he was doing, later I found out he was telling everybody, how can I send this boy back? Look, I wasn't being taken care of. I don't know what was going on, but I don't remember much. But at the end of the day, I needed help. I needed someone to take care of me. My dad stepped up, 20 years old, single, living his life. He stopped all that for me. Taught me how to speak English, taught me to be a man, instilled discipline into me. I was doing hospital corners on my bed from day one. I was doing push-ups when I misspelled a word or didn't get a good grade. And he raised the standard up for me. So I want to give thanks to my dad. Without him, I would not be here. I know that for a fact. I would not be here. And the reason I tell the story, not because it's my story, and not because I went, oh, it's a sad story. No, it ain't a sad story, because look at me now. I'm good. Got a great family. The reason I tell that story is because all you supervisors, everybody that you're charged with, to take care of someone and also take care of yourself, you never know. If you just take the time and be purposeful and genuine and get to know that person's story and get to know that person, you'll never know what they're going to turn out to be. So spend that time. The supervisor, spend that time. I got through that pretty good. All right. My first supervisor, Sergeant Schrank, Tech Sergeant retired. Shout out to you. I know you're watching. He was the best supervisor I had. The reason why is because he found out, he knew my story. He knew I came to him not knowing anything about mechanics. I knew a screwdriver, that was it. I didn't know what a speed handle, torque wrench, none of that was. But he took care of me, and within like 2 or 3 weeks, not only did I know all the tools in the toolbox, but I knew what tool he needed before he even asked for it, because he spent that time in me. He invested in me, and he still mentors me today. So thank you to you. All right, lastly, and we'll get out of here and get to the party, I just want to say thank you to my family. With you, Birchfield, you guys we've known each other for a very, very long time. And so honored that you guys are here. Vic, I know, would be here if he could. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for being there for us all the time. And you traveled all the way from D.C. to here, so much. I don't know how else to really show how thankful I am. But I'm looking forward to doing more things with you guys. All right, Gabe, our first. Boy, you've been in the Air Force your whole career, your whole life, and you don't even know it. He's 27 years old. We had you when we were really young. But I'm so proud of you, man. So proud of you. You live your life. You have no boss. You own, I don't know how many companies. And you're just doing what you want to do, your dream. And you're fulfilling it. And you're helping other people out as well. Never get any bad phone calls from you. I tell people all the time, he never gives us any issues. So whatever you mess up, you fix. And we never find out about it. But at the end of the day, you're a good man and a good person, man. And I'm so honored and proud to be your dad, bro. And I'm looking forward to reconnecting with you, all of you, and being there for stuff. Alexa, I was telling the major, just a couple years ago, this girl was in high school. And now look at her. She's a BTZ winner. She also won an annual award at Kadena, and she's leading from the front. She told the wing commander, like, why do the Marines get to take leave and liberty from Kadena into mainland? We have to be on leave. They said, good point. They changed the rule for everybody. So she was popular. She's popular in Kadena. But she's going to do great things. I can't wait to watch you from afar and see what you do. I'm so proud of you, and you wearing the uniform and serving our country. I couldn't ask for anything more. I'm going to leave it at that, or else I'm going to start crying. Bella, oh Bella, parents, and thank you for everything. You're going to crush the next 3 years in your high school. Just get after it. Look up to your sister. She's doing it right. She's done it right. And I know you can do it too. And you're going to go far. And I promise you, when you go to bed, I'm going to be there. And when you wake up, I'll be there. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do. Thank you, Bella. All right. As I wrap this up, I didn't write a speech or anything. I wanted to be genuine and talk from the heart. You know, as the major said, you know, I came into the Air Force because I wanted to better myself, and I wanted to make my dad proud. And I still feel like I have a debt that I have to pay to the Air Force because the Air Force has poured so much into me. And sometimes we forget how blessed and how fortunate we actually are. And I just want to say thank you to the institution, thank you to the people, the Air Force, the military, and I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of that. So without that, that's it. That's not it. Oh, damn. Oh man. Thank you for being there. Thank you for telling me when I need to stop whining, telling me the truth, what I needed to hear, picking me up when I need it, and just always being there for me. And I tell people ask me all the time, why you look so young? I say, thanks, first of all, but it's because I have a healthy home. I have a happy home, and it was because of you. So thank you very much. Looking forward to spending a lot of time with you and do what we do. So thank you, baby. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Team Simon, we out. Thank you all. Thanks for everybody coming. Shake y'all.
All right. Good to do it, guys. Good job.
The men and women of the 35th Maintenance Squadron would, the men and women of the 35th Maintenance Squadron are proud to have served with Chief Master Sergeant Simon. We wish him and his family continued success in San Antonio, Texas, and in their next chapter. Please stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes our ceremony. Thank you for attending.
die.